Here with athletic director, head football coach of the Garden City Bearcats, Jeff Jones. How you doing this morning, Coach?
I'm doing just fine. Thanks for having me on today.
Welcome. How are things holding up there in Glascock County with COVID-19?
We are getting very antsy, and we want to get back to work. It's a bunch of our kids. We have a little shed downtown that has some weight equipment in it, and the kids have been hitting that pretty hard. So, but they are really wanting to get back into a real weight room and get started. So, it's just it feels like everybody's just bored to tears, and they're just ready to get back to some normalcy. And normalcy here is a lot of sports, and our farmers are all out there planting cotton these last couple of days, so at least they're getting back to some normalcy that they're used to in the spring. But I think a bunch of the kids are ready to get off the tractor and head right to the weight room.
So a little bit about going a little bit into what it's been like for your family having you around so much.
I wish I was a cool guy and could do some things around the house, but I'm a coach for a reason. So I can't do much except get on my wife's nerves and say yes, ma'am, when she needs something done, and at least try to do it. But we've been just getting some work done around the house. We got weeds growing, so we got to mow them every once in a while. I got a freshman son, so I'm not having to mow too much. I'm putting him to work, but it's lots of watching huddle is more than anything, probably just watching huddle and getting ready for the next season, and watching some virtual clinics here and there, and just still I'm missing sports a lot, so I find myself watching some random things on TV, and my son comes in, what is that? And so we kind of explain to him what lacrosse is, and some things like that, some old video that comes up. So it's I would say it's been relaxing, but my wife is kind of ready for me to get back to work also.
If you don't mind, let's go back a few weeks to when this COVID-19 hit, and then gradually we became aware we were going to lose all the spring sports, all those district championships, all that stuff. Go a little into what kind of an impact that has on a community like there in Glascock County.
It's hard on us. We take a lot of pride in our spring stuff. We had several kids in tennis that went to regionals last year. They were looking to make a return trip. They were improving from week to week, and the tennis coach, he's an old Garden City kid, but this is his first year to coach tennis here since coming back out of college. So he had been getting the hopes up and getting things going, and they were real optimistic on how things were going to shake out. In track, we were improving, we were getting better. We were turning in some really good times, both boys and girls, sitting in the top 5 in the state in several events. And, last year we won regional, the boys won the regional title and went and got second at state. And, there was a lot of things we wanted to do. And, we had some business left unattended that we needed to take care of and get some medals here and there. And, when it comes to a screeching halt like that, you're just holding out for some hope that we're going to be able to run at regional and state, and just never came true. And then in golf, our boys have won state the last 2 years, so they wanted a chance to get back and repeat and defend those titles that they've had. And our girls were one stroke off of getting a medal last year as a team at state, and they were all back this year, so they were looking forward to getting there and getting a medal. And then we had 2 seniors that it would have been their 4th trip to Austin in 4 years, and that doesn't happen much. And when you have goals and things like that, it really just hits you hard and hits you like a ton of bricks, and it's very emotional. And you go through all those steps, denial and anger and all that stuff was just floating around. And and in small schools like ours, you have to use those sports as kind of a confidence builder and as a benchmark to how things are going to go in the fall. So we didn't really get to finish any of that off.
But some positive signs coming. Yesterday, a statement from the UIL that we'll be starting strength and conditioning June 8th. Details to come forward on what the restrictions on that and what the details are going to be, but at least some positive signs.
Yes, sir. We were very excited to see that. All the kids, we sent out a group chat thing and within our website to our team, and our boys and girls were all excited to hear that. At least they got a date in mind now, and they can see something, out there that they're going to be able to get back into the weight room, into the gym, onto the football field, uh, around the track, getting running again, and things like that. And in an organized way. I'm glad they've been keeping busy, but it's time they're ready for some organization too. So it was good to see that the date came out. I was hoping for June 1st, but beggars can't be choosers at this point for sure. So we'll take June 8th and we'll run with it. So I'm interested to see what the UIL is going to let us do as far as restrictions and this and that. Even if they do small groups, things like that, it's not going to affect us so much, but I can see it affecting the 5As and 6As and those guys. And I bet it's pretty tough for them. But if they tell us like 10 at a time, I mean, we can knock out our whole football team in 3 sessions. That's not real hard to do, but I feel sorry for the bigger schools as far as that goes. So I'm interested to see what more direction the UIL gives us.
Now you haven't, as you said, didn't really get a chance to get a real good look at your kids in the spring, but still we're going to have football in the fall. So what can we look for from the Bearcats this fall?
And we're going to be rebuilding. We lost all 6 starters on both sides of the ball, so we're going to be looking at a whole new batch of starters. A couple of our kids got second team all district and special teams last year, second team all district kicker Nick Laura, and a second team all district special teams guy Matthew Espinoza. We have about 13 kids that are going to be seniors, but they just really didn't get on the field. We just had a really good senior bunch, and we have the last 3 or 4 years. So this senior bunch has been relegated to JV and coming off the bench last year on varsity. So they haven't seen the field a whole lot. So we're going to be very inexperienced, and we got some good sophomores and juniors also next year that are we're going to have to rely on. So it's there's a lot of question marks for us now. The one cool thing is that we're still got Bearcats across our chest, and the kids are going to show up and play hard. So we're looking forward to that.
All right. And then one last one, give you a chance to shout out some of your kids, any seniors or juniors coming up, anybody that's stood out and you want to give some kudos to.
Yeah, Nick, like I said, Nick Laura, he came through and did a good job at kicking, got more consistent as the year went. And Matthew Espinoza, who was on all special teams and just takes a lot of pride on being on special teams. But both those guys are going to have to be on the field on offense and defense. So we're going to have to look forward to them being on there. Nick's been a backup quarterback. Espinoza has been a backup running back. So they're going to get their chance. Everybody else, all the sophomores and juniors, were all on JV last year. They had a decent little JV season. We went 7-2 there. And had a good year, got a lot of playing time on there. So, but one of the juniors is Sebastian Balcazar. We're looking at him. He's a running back and a linebacker on defense, and he was one of those kids that was really coming along in track. He finally was running a very good 300 hurdles, and we were hoping that he was just going to keep dropping as far as that went. So we're looking forward to see what he's going to do on the football field. There's only 3 junior boys that play football, so and it's just one of those small classes, only 10 in the whole class anyway. But the other 2 are Jim Kinderbrew and Isaac Gutierrez. They did a good job on JV last year too. We got a big group of sophomores coming up that we're going to rely heavily on. Some of them have grown, and it's fun watching them grow from freshman to sophomore year, and some of them really have put on some weight. They've gotten faster. And, like I said, we're ready for June 8th to hit so that we can really start seeing some things. I'm hoping they let us have some football skill development like they did starting last year, because there are a whole bunch of question marks and a whole bunch of kids that are it's their time to shine, but we really want to see them before August hits. We want to see what they can do so we can get more of an idea.
Well, thanks for your time today, Coach, and hopefully we'll get to see the Bearcats hit the field this fall.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you much.